In the wild heart of Timbavati, 4 young male lions were born into the powerful Ross pride. Their early days were filled with play and learning, forging bonds of brotherhood and survival. As they grew, the innocence of cubhood faded. The ruling males, once their protectors, now saw them as rivals. Hostility replaced affection. The brothers were pushed out, denied food and harassed. Their expulsion was brutal and final. Forced from their only home, the 4 brothers became nomads, outcasts in a dangerous world. Vulnerable and inexperienced, they had only each other to rely on. The wilderness was now a place of constant threat, every sound and scent a warning. Their brotherhood, tested by hunger and fear, became their greatest weapon. In exile they lost everything, family, home, security. But in that loss, they found an unbreakable bond. This unity would be the foundation of their future. No longer the Ross breakaway males, they would soon earn a new name. Safari guides called them the Birmingham Males, a name that would echo across the savannah. They were outcasts, but their story was just beginning. The crucible of exile would forge their destiny. Their journey would transform them from lost princes to legends. The wild had cast them out, but it would soon witness their rise. The Birmingham Males were ready to face the world, together. Life as a nomad was a daily struggle for the Birmingham brothers. Hunger was constant. Hunting without experienced lionesses was nearly impossible. They scavenged, risking deadly confrontations with hyenas and rival lions. Every meal was a gamble, every day a test of survival. The African bush was a patchwork of fiercely defended territories. As trespassers, the brothers moved mostly at night, learning to read the roars and scents of resident males. They became masters of stealth, moving as one, protecting the weak and injured among them. Their silent communication, glances, growls, gestures, kept them alive. Their loyalty was their shield, their unity, their strategy. These harsh years stripped away naivety, replacing it with cunning and resilience. They learned the land, the habits of prey, and the weaknesses of rivals. Observing other coalitions, they saw that strategy and unity mattered more than brute force. Their brotherhood was not just comfort, it was survival. The wilderness was their training ground, shaping them into a formidable force. They were no longer just surviving, they were preparing to conquer. The hardships they faced would become the foundation of their power. The Birmingham Males were being forged into legends. Driven by instinct and the need for a home, the Birmingham Males began a perilous journey south. Their destination, the legendary Sabi Sand Game Reserve, a land of abundance and fierce competition. The trek was long and dangerous, crossing hostile territories and rivers. Every step brought new threats, resident lions, hunger, exhaustion. They moved with caution, relying on unity and wits to survive. As they neared Sabi Sands, the promise of opportunity grew stronger, but so did the risks. This was a land ruled by powerful coalitions. The Birmingham brothers arrived lean, scarred, and determined. They quickly identified the dominant force, the Matimba Males, 2 massive, experienced lions. The Matimbas controlled prime territory and the coveted Nkuhuma pride. Challenging them seemed impossible, but the brothers had come too far to turn back. They watched, learned, and waited for the right moment. Their unity was their only advantage. The stage was set for a confrontation that would change everything. The Birmingham Males were ready to risk it all for a kingdom. Their long walk was about to end in battle. Tension gripped the Sabi Sands as the Birmingham Males made their presence known. They began scent marking on the edges of Matimba territory, a bold challenge. The Matimbas responded with roars and increased patrols, confident in their strength. The brothers used their numbers, launching quick, coordinated attacks before vanishing. These were not full battles, but strategic probes to test the Matimbas' resolve. Weeks of skirmishes wore down both sides. The Birmingham Males fought with desperate ferocity, each brother protecting the others. The Matimbas faced a new kind of enemy, united, smart, relentless. The final turning point came when the brothers isolated one Matimba male, overwhelming him. The second Matimba was forced to retreat. Against all odds, the Outcasts had overthrown the mighty Matimba coalition. The heart of the Sabi Sands was theirs. Their victory was stunning, a testament to unity and strategy. The Birmingham Males were no longer underdogs. They had claimed a kingdom through brotherhood and cunning. The savannah had new rulers. Their reign was about to begin. The legend of the Birmingham Males was born. With the Matimbas gone, a new era began in the Sabi Sands. The Birmingham Males claimed the Nkuhuma pride, securing food, stability, and a future for their bloodline. The transition was brutal. Cubs sired by the Matimbas were eliminated, ensuring the new dynasty. Their dominance was now absolute. The brothers patrolled their territory relentlessly, their unified roars warning all rivals. Their presence brought order and discipline to the region. They looked beyond the Nkuhuma pride, hungry for expansion. Their strength and strategy allowed them to control multiple prides, a rare feat. The Birmingham Males were not content with a single victory. They were building an empire. Their reign would reshape the social landscape of the Sabi Sands. The Outcasts had become kings. Their journey from exile to empire was just beginning. The savannah would never be the same. The Birmingham Males' reign was marked by unprecedented expansion. They absorbed neighboring prides, Styx, Torchwood, and more, ruling a vast territory. Their secret was unity. No single male could have managed such a domain. The brothers often split up, managing multiple prides and patrolling distant borders. Their coordinated roars and scent marks created an illusion of omnipresence. This strategy intimidated rivals and reassured the lionesses. Their rule sparked a baby boom. Lionesses raised cubs with greater success. The brothers were prolific, siring dozens of offspring. Their stability brought a golden age to the region. The foundation of their empire was brotherhood. No infighting, no hierarchy, just unity. They hunted, fought, and ruled together. Their story became a model for success in the lion world. Cooperation and kinship proved stronger than brute force. The Birmingham Males set a new standard for what a coalition could achieve. The Birmingham Males ruled with a blend of force and intelligence. Their coordinated roars deterred challengers before fights even began. Patrols were strategic, boundaries clear, and their presence constant. This efficiency created stability, allowing prides to flourish. They assessed threats carefully, choosing battles wisely. Sometimes they retreated strategically, preserving their strength and unity. Their reign lasted because they balanced aggression with patience. They saved their power for true threats, avoiding needless conflict. Other coalitions burned out quickly. The Birmingham Males endured. They were not just warriors, but masterful rulers of the savannah. Their intelligence set them apart. Their legacy was built on more than muscle, it was built on strategy. The Birmingham Males' legacy is written in the DNA of the Sabi Sands. Their genes, forged by hardship, now run through a new generation of lions. Many future coalitions trace their lineage to these four brothers. Their reign brought rare stability, breaking cycles of violence and high cub mortality. Lioness populations thrived under their protection. Their story inspired others. Unity in numbers became the new blueprint for power. Even after their reign ended, their influence endured. They were remembered as architects of an empire, not just conquerors. Their strategies and loyalty became legend. The Birmingham Males changed the genetic and social landscape of the region. Their story is still told by guides and researchers. The Outcasts had become a permanent part of the land's history. The Birmingham Males story is a powerful tale of transformation. From outcasts to kings, their journey was forged by adversity. They faced starvation, danger, and defeat, but their brotherhood made them unstoppable. Their unity was their superpower, allowing them to conquer stronger foes and rule for years. Their legacy is more than territory or cubs, it's a story of hope and perseverance. They proved that loyalty and strategy can triumph over brute strength. Their reign redefined what it means to be powerful in the lion world. Even after their roars faded, their legend endured. They inspired future generations to value kinship and cooperation. The Birmingham Males became more than kings, they became icons. Their epic journey from exile to empire will echo for generations. The savannah remembers them, not just as rulers but as legends. Birmingham Lions, Kinky Tail, Pretty Boy, Scoro, Dreadlocks, T-Man, and Impondo were a coalition of 6 males whose presence shattered the old order in the Sabisand game reserve. These were not ordinary lions. Each one carried the scars and wisdom of survival, and together, they formed a force that was almost mythical in its power. Their arrival was not just the beginning of a new chapter, but the rewriting of the entire story of the land. Their dark manes and unified strength made them living legends. A brotherhood that moved as one, hunting and fighting with chilling purpose. They were bound not just by blood but by a shared ambition, a hunger for dominance that set them apart from all who came before. Every step they took was measured, every hunt a display of their coordination and power. The land itself seemed to hold its breath as they swept through, toppling old kings in a brutal, coordinated campaign. Rival males, once rulers of their own domains, found themselves outmatched and outnumbered. The Birmingham Lions moved with a confidence that left no doubt. They were here to claim everything in their path. Their conquests were swift and merciless, sending a clear message: a new dynasty had begun. The old alliances crumbled, and the balance of power shifted overnight. The Birmingham Lions were not just conquerors, they were architects of a new era, reshaping the very fabric of life on the savannah. The Birmingham Lions didn't just want territory, they wanted an empire, and they had the power to take it. Their reign was marked by relentless patrols, fierce battles, and a determination that seemed unbreakable. Every corner of their domain bore the mark of their dominance, from the scent marks on trees to the wary eyes of every creature that crossed their path. For 6 years, their roars defined the nights, and their presence shaped every life in their domain. The sound of their voices rolling across the plains was both a promise and a warning, a declaration that the age of the Birmingham Lions was in full force. Under the cover of darkness, their silhouettes became symbols of power, inspiring awe and fear in equal measure. Their story would become one of the most compelling tales of power and dominance ever witnessed in the African bush. The legend of the Birmingham Lions endures, a testament to the strength of brotherhood and the relentless pursuit of greatness in the wild. Their legacy is written not just in the scars they bore, but in the very landscape they ruled, a reminder that in the savannah only the boldest can claim the title of Titan. The Birmingham Lions were more than just a coalition. They were a fortress of muscle and unity. Their story began with a shared purpose, a drive to not only survive but to dominate the wild lands of the Sabi Sand. Each lion brought his own strength, but together, they became something far greater than the sum of their parts. Each male was a specimen of strength, but together, they were unstoppable, their dark manes a signal of dominance and health. These manes were more than just a sign of maturity. They were a warning to rivals and a beacon to potential mates, marking them as the elite among lions. Unlike most fragile coalitions, their bond was unbreakable. An attack on one was an attack on all. They stood shoulder to shoulder, ready to defend each other against any threat, whether it came from rival males or the dangers of the wild. They hunted, patrolled, and fought as a single, disciplined unit, covering vast territory with relentless stamina. Their teamwork allowed them to take down large prey and defend their land from intruders, ensuring the safety of their pride and the continuation of their bloodline. Their roars echoed through the night, a warning to all: this land is protected by vigilant kings. The sound carried for miles, striking fear into the hearts of rivals and reminding every creature that the Birmingham Coalition was always watching, always ready. Their unity and discipline made them the undisputed rulers, rewriting the rules of survival in the Sabi Sand. No other coalition could match their coordination or their sheer will to hold on to power, and their reign became legendary among all who witnessed it. Observers could only watch in awe as the Birmingham Males built a dynasty on brotherhood and brute strength. Wildlife photographers and researchers traveled from around the world, hoping to catch a glimpse of these remarkable lions in action. They didn't just survive, they thrived, their legend growing with every patrol. The Birmingham Lions became a symbol of what true brotherhood and power could achieve in the wild, leaving an indelible mark on the history of the savannah. The Birmingham Lions' true genius lay in their tactical intelligence. They weren't just brutes, they were cunning strategists, choosing battles wisely and conserving energy for the fights that mattered. Their psychological warfare, coordinated roars, scent marking, intimidated rivals before a single blow was struck. They observed enemies, planned attacks, and struck with overwhelming force and flawless teamwork. In battle, they moved as one, flanking and outmaneuvering opponents with precision. This strategy minimized risk and injury, ensuring their reign lasted longer than most. The Birmingham Lions were not just kings, they were generals, ruling with both power and wisdom. Their reign proved that in the wild, intelligence can outlast sheer strength. The nights of the Sabi Sand echoed with the synchronized roars of the Birmingham Lions, a symphony of dominance that traveled for miles. Their voices, deep and resonant, rolled across the savannah like thunder, sending a clear message to all who heard it. Each roar was not just a sound but a proclamation, a warning to rivals and a reassurance to their pride. The air would vibrate with their power, and even the stars seemed to pause, listening to the authority in their call. Their unified roar was a declaration: this territory is ours and we are united. It was a display of strength and brotherhood, a bond forged through countless battles and shared victories. The sound carried far beyond their immediate domain, reaching the ears of distant prides and solitary wanderers alike, reminding all of the unbreakable alliance that ruled these lands. Patrols were disciplined and purposeful, their massive paws leaving clear warnings for any intruder. Every step was measured, every glance calculated. The ground bore the imprint of their authority, a silent but unmistakable sign that this was a kingdom fiercely guarded. Their movements were a blend of grace and power, a living testament to their dominance. They marked boundaries with scent, creating an invisible fence that deterred rivals before a fight was needed. The pungent aroma of their markings lingered in the air, a chemical signature that spoke louder than any growl. This invisible barrier was respected by all, a testament to the reputation the Birmingham Lions had built over years of unchallenged rule. Even at rest, they remained vigilant, lying in circular formations to watch every direction. Their bodies might have been still, but their senses were always alert, attuned to the slightest movement or sound. This constant awareness was key to their survival and success, ensuring that no threat could ever catch them off guard. Their constant readiness and multi-layered strategy created an aura of invincibility. It was not just their physical strength, but their intelligence and coordination that set them apart. Every member of the coalition played a role, contributing to a seamless defense that few dared to challenge. The Birmingham Lions didn't just rule through fear, but through relentless, visible control. Their presence was a daily reminder to all creatures, prey and predator alike, that this land was under their watchful eyes. Their confidence was unmistakable, their dominance undisputed. Their presence was felt everywhere, from the ground's vibrations to the air's scent. The very landscape seemed to bend to their will, shaped by their movements and habits. Every trail, every patch of grass bore evidence of their reign, a living map of their territory. For years their symphony was the soundtrack of the Sabi Sand, a reminder of who ruled. Night after night, their roars echoed through the darkness, weaving a tapestry of power and unity that defined the very soul of the savannah. Their dominance was total, both physically and psychologically. The Birmingham Lions were more than just rulers. They were legends, their legacy etched into the land and the memories of all who witnessed their reign. The Birmingham Lions' reputation spread like wildfire, reshaping the behavior of every predator in their domain. Nomadic males avoided their territory, and even bold hyena clans kept their distance, knowing the cost of challenging such unity. Lionesses respected and feared them, recognizing both the protection and the danger they brought. Rangers and guides spoke of them in awe, chronicling their hunts and battles as living legends. The coalition's exploits, bringing down buffalo, facing rival coalitions, became campfire stories. The Birmingham Lions were more than dominant. They were iconic, their legend growing with every encounter. They became the stars of the Sabi Sand, their saga unfolding in real time. Even the mightiest empires fall, and the Birmingham Lions were no exception. Age crept in, gray manes, slower strides, old wounds that never fully healed. The first loss was Dreadlocks, then T-Man, each disappearance weakening the coalition's aura of invincibility. The remaining brothers, Mpando, Kinky Tail, Pretty Boy and Scoro, faced rising threats from younger, stronger coalitions. Battles grew more desperate as their territory shrank, their injuries mounting. Kinky Tail's limp and Pretty Boy's scars marked the toll of endless conflict. Mpando, once a great leader, now bore the weight of a crumbling empire. They were still kings, but of a dwindling kingdom, haunted by memories of their former glory. The unraveling was relentless, as inevitable as their rise had once been. As their numbers dwindled, the vast territory became a burden the aging survivors could no longer defend. Younger coalitions seized land, forcing the Birmingham Lions into a slow, painful retreat. Once mighty roars became the lonely calls of isolated lions, echoes of a fading dynasty. The brothers, now ghosts in their own kingdom, found brief comfort in rare reunions. Pretty Boy vanished, leaving only Mapando and Kinky Tail, two old warriors leaning on each other. Pushed to marginal lands, they became nomads in the territory they once ruled. Their final patrols were slow and labored, a heartbreaking sight for those who remembered their prime. Surrounded by the roars of new kings, their story neared its quiet, inevitable end. The end of the Birmingham Lions was not a dramatic fall, but a slow, poignant fading. Kinky Tail, weakened and injured, disappeared first, leaving Mapando utterly alone. Mapando, once a great leader, became a solitary figure, a king without a kingdom. He survived by skill and memory, avoiding rivals in a land he once ruled. There was no final battle, just a quiet surrender to age and the rise of new kings. His last sighting was a shadow crossing the road, a ghost of former glory. The final roar was not a chorus but silence. The era was over. The Sabi Sand belonged to new masters, but the memory of the Birmingham Lions lingered. Their story became a legend, a reminder that all reigns, no matter how glorious, must end. Though the Birmingham Lions are gone, their legacy endures in the bloodlines and stories of the Sabi Sand. Their countless cubs carry their strength and spirit into the next generation. Today, lions with the Birmingham look roam the reserve, a living testament to their dominance. Their coalition set a new standard, proving that unity in numbers could conquer and hold vast territory. Their saga became a cornerstone of wildlife tourism and conservation, inspiring awe and respect worldwide. Documentaries and stories keep their legend alive, making them ambassadors for their species. The Birmingham Lion's tale is a timeless lesson in power, brotherhood, and the cycles of life and death. The kings are gone, but their kingdom in many ways lives on.